getting really cold, and especially outside, but also a little bit in here, so I decided to make myself a pair of slippers. They look like this, and they have a waffle pattern, and then some garnishings on top. Then there are some rubber thingies underneath that sort of make them easier to walk on, so they're not so slippery. Let's do this! In the menu for this video there's going to be 3 points. The middle one is for the sock and the garnishings, the top one is where I show the waffle stitch, and the bottom one is for the elastic part. I am using a crochet needle that is size 3 and yarn that goes with that. This is the yarn I am using because it's the closest I have to a waffle color. Start by chaining 10. When you have 10, hold the 10th chain and then chain 2. Go back into the chain that you are holding and make a half double crochet. Do a half double crochet in each stitch all the way to the end, and then make 4 in the same stitch at the end. This will bring us to the other side and enable us to work in the back of the chain. So now we can go in here and do 1 half double crochet in each back stitch all the way down. When we get to the end, do 4 here as well. And when you've done that, you can join to the first chain you made, to the first stitch you made, to make this into a round. The next round, you do a half double crochet in each stitch again, but you are going to do an increase at each corner like this. Now for the next round, do 1 half double crochet in each stitch again, but you're going to increase at the ends instead. This should start to curl already. It should curl inwards and sort of look like the front of your foot, because this is where your toes are going to go. If you have bigger feet or smaller feet, of course feel free to adapt the pattern. It doesn't really matter how many stitches you have as long as it fits your foot. So this is the other one I made, and I just wanted to show you that I have 7 rounds on mine. And if you have bigger or smaller feet, please feel free to do this, to do more or less. But for me, I have made 3 now, and then I'm going to do 4 rounds where I just do 1 half double crochet in each stitch, and it looks like this when you're done. So from here on, I want to start my waffle pattern. And to do that, you're going to chain 2 and then start doing 1 round where you do a double crochet in each stitch. This will be the foundation for the waffle stitch, and you can see more in my, if you click the link for the waffle stitch. Now to start the waffle stitch, I like to start the first one by doing a front post, so like this. And it's really up to you where you want to do this. For me, I just think this looks the nicest. So then you're just going to do a waffle stitch all the way around, and you might be thinking, well, but a waffle stitch needs like it needs 3 stitches, right, to do a waffle stitch. The first stitch, the first post, and then 2 in the middle. And while that is true, you're not really gonna see it if you have more or less. So here you can see I now have 2 left, and that's a problem because I also started with a chain. So it's going to be a little bit bigger here than the others, because it's really gonna have 3 of the normal stitches in between the 2 posts. But it's not a problem really, because the post that we start with is going to move around, and really it's not that big of a difference. So if you have if you have this, or if you have the exact number, or have a little bit less, it really doesn't matter. But you might, if you have a lot more, decrease a little, and you might, if you have none in between, you might insert an extra in order to make it symmetrical or whatever. So then we're going to do the back round. So we chain 2 and then turn. From now on, you're just going to continue your waffle stitch until you hit the heel. And this is very individual. From person to person, you have different feet. So just test on your own feet how long you need it. Now to do the wrist part, you're going to do a foundation stitch with double crochet. And you do that by doing chain 3, do a double crochet, and then chain 1. And then you're going to go back into your double crochet and do another double crochet in it. Then finish that and do 1 chain. And you're just going to continue this until you have something like this. Now test how long this is around your foot, and you should really stretch it in order to make it fit. If it just fits, it's too long. Do a double crochet to set it down into the shoe or sock, and then continue your waffle pattern across the front of the foot. And then when you get to the chain, just do 1 double crochet in each stitch until you get back to the beginning. It's going to look like this, and you can try it on now again to see if it still fits. So this is going to be the start of both the heel and the top part of the foot. The sock, I'm sorry. It's going to be the first part of the sock. So to do the heel, you're going to insert the hook at the angle here, I think, and then chain 2. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to decrease in the corners, so where we started and on the opposite side. And I like to decrease by 3. It really depends on how big on which size your feet are. But just do 1 half double crochet in each stitch along the sides, and then always decrease in the corners. And just continue that and try it on to see if it fits you. And when it sort of does, just going to cut the yarn and then sew this together on the wrong side. So here we go. Now I have a heel. For the top part of my shoe, I wanted to do something that looks like, you know, ice cream or whipped cream or whatever you want this to be. Where I am, we eat waffles with whipped cream. So go into the stitch, and sometimes you go into the stitch below it to make this jagged edge. Sometimes I like to do this too, where I make a lot of chain. I make a long chain, and then I do a increasing number of stitches, meaning I start with a single and then a double and so on to make this sort of flap that makes the rim look fluffy. So that's it. Now we just need to do some strawberries. And of course you need to do the twist loops on the bottom if you want to do those. In order to make a strawberry, we're going to need some red yarn and some green yarn. Start by making a slip knot and then chain 3. We're going to work this entirely in the first chain on the chain. Do 3 double crochet, then a single crochet, chain 1, and then 3 more double crochet. After that, we're going to do 5 together, meaning that we're going to go in to the middle, then finish half of our double stitch, and then leave the loop on the hook. Now go into the 5th one, you're going to do into the first stitch you made. So now you just yarn over and pull through all of these loops on your hook in order to make a point down here. So cut your yarn and sew in the ends, if you want to. To make a petal, insert some green yarn at the top, do a chain of 5, and then down the chain you're going to do first a single crochet, then a half double crochet, and then double crochet in the rest of the stitches. When you get to the bottom, slip stitch into the middle of your heart or strawberry thingy. You need 2 leaves on a strawberry. So, and then you can use the leftover ends to sew it onto the shoe or sock. I'm going to use twist loops to do some little thingies underneath the foot. To begin, take a red elastic and wrap it 4 times around the hook. Now take another red elastic and pull all of your little loops onto this elastic. This is going to be the bottom of the strawberry. Then put your hook through the other loop like this. Now take a green elastic and pull that one through these 2 loops, and then hook it onto your hook like this. Now you're going to pull that through itself and then go back into the middle of the red and the green loops and pull the green through one more time in order to make this. And I'm just storing mine on this little clip, and I'm making 10 for each shoe. Now to put them onto the shoe, just take one of your little strawberry thingies and put it onto the hook with your last stitch. Now grab your yarn and yarn over. Go on the back of your strawberry and find a red loop, and then go down into the next stitch on your work. Now pull through, and I'm making a mistake here, so don't do as I do in this, just do as I say. Pull through all of the loops until you have a yarn loop and a green loop and a yarn loop, and then pull through those. And I'm going to do it right here. So go through one of the green loops, yarn over, go through one of the red loops, go into the next stitch, go up, and then go through until you have a, like this. Right now you have a yarn loop, a green loop, and a yarn loop. Yarn over and go through those 3. Now go and do the next post stitch. And I have a little elastic thingy that is going to prevent you from slipping when you use your new slippers. When you want to do the waffle stitch, do multiples of 3. And then at the end, you're going to do you're going to chain 2. Now the first round, the first row is going to be purely of double crochet. In double crochet, you get this post, which enables us to do front post stitches. The first stitch you're going to do is going to be around the post, so it's going to be a front post double crochet. This will make it stand out compared to the rest, and it will look quite 3-dimensional, if you can put it that way. The next 2 are going to be normal, meaning that you're just going to go into the stitch and do a normal double crochet. And if you can do these 2 steps, you can follow this pattern. It's really not any harder than that. It's really easy. You just have to grasp it, I guess. But the basic stitches are very simple. So this was the entire repeat. So you're just going to do this for the remainder of your row. So the next one is going to be around the post. And count your stitches in the row below you, not on the row you're on, because it gets confusing. So just make sure there are 2 posts before you do this front post double crochet. So this is the bottom of a it's the bottom of a waffle square. Now turn your work and chain 2, and now you're going to do the opposite. So everywhere on the front where you did a normal crochet, you're going to do a front post, and everywhere where you did a front post, you're going to do a normal. So these, you can see they're a little bit raised because we did the normal on the front. So here you're going to do them as front post double crochet. And this really enhances the 3D effect of the stitch. It makes it quite thick and also quite stretchy. To do it on a round, do basically the same. So chain 2 to start the round, and then do a double crochet in each stitch all the way around. Now the next round you're going to start by doing a front post around the post that is directly below your 2 beginning chain stitches. And this is just because this looks the nicest when we work forward. Now do 2 normal double crochet. And then a front post again. And this part is exactly the same. And then of course, when you get back, you're going to chain 2 and then turn. You're going to don't work around, work an entire round, close it off, do your chain and then turn. And if you're not sure which way you were going, you're always going to go with the arrows. If you notice in normal crochet, you will go against the arrows. But if you turned right, then you should go towards the arrows and not against them. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time.